Hello everyone, I'm Rick and thanks for joining me. And if you haven't already, I'd very much appreciate your support in hitting the subscribe button and giving the video a like. Today we're talking cables, XLR interconnects to be exact, and I'm featuring my new favorite, the Audio Accessories Gold Series Star Quad XLR. But before we look at the cable, I have to remind everybody that this is all just my opinion of what I hear, of what I see, and of what I feel. With that out of the way, here we go. Audio Accessories sells on Amazon, and they have two styles of XLR cables. Their basic series, which consists of a 2-conductor 21-gauge oxygen-free copper cable, insulated in cross-linked polyethylene with a cotton filler and an aluminum foil shield, and then a second shield, this time braided copper with over 95% coverage, then a PVC jacket, and then finally a Kevlar reinforced nylon braided outer jacket. And these cables come with Roon XLR connectors, and the 3.3 feet pair will set you back under $20. So great value there. Then there are the cables that we'll be looking at today. Their Gold Series Star Quad XLR cable, which I'll just call the Golds. So let's compare them to my previous favorite XLR cables, assembled by WBC with Mogami W2534 cable and Nutric connectors. These guys right here. Now the Golds over on this side here have four 22-gauge oxygen-free copper conductors, so each pair equals a 19-gauge conductor, versus the WBC's four 24-gauge conductors, each pair equaling 21-gauge. Both the Golds and the WBCs use cross-linked polyethylene to insulate the conductors, but the Golds then get an aluminum foil shield that the WBCs do not have. Next, the Gold gets a copper braided shield with 100% coverage, while the WBC copper braided shield gives you 94% coverage. Then both have flexible PVC jackets. However, the Gold adds that Kevlar reinforced nylon outer jacket. And finally, both the Golds and the WBC use the same high quality Nutric connectors, the NC3MXX. So the Golds versus the Mogami cable in the WBCs, the Golds give you a thicker gauge conductor for less resistance, an extra shield for added EMI and RF resistance, and an additional outer shield for added durability. So here's the story as to how we got here. A few weeks ago, I was about to film a video and I forgot to charge my Sennheiser wireless mics. And those are these guys, and we have a transmitter with my little lavalier mic that I usually wear under my shirt here, and this is a receiver on XLR that plugs into my recorder. Once again, these are battery operated, so I have to charge these. Well, I didn't do that. So I was in the need of a cable to connect my boom mic to my recorder. So I ran out to the garage to rummage through my cable box, and I found my old 25-foot GLS Audio XLR cable. This guy right here. And I think I bought this one on Amazon quite a while back for under $20 for a 25-foot cable. So I found the cable, I untangled it, and I plugged it into my mic, then over to my recorder. I ran a recording test, and damn it, I was getting hum. So I got the cable, I wrapped the extra tight, threw on a Velcro wrap, and try to hide it as far away from my extension cord as possible. My extension cord runs my filming lights, my audio recorder, and my camera. So by moving it away from the electrical, I got rid of that hum. But I was so irritated that I decided to get a slightly shorter XLR cable. And that's when I came across the 10-foot Audio Accessories Gold Series that I have connected to my mic right now. When the cable arrived, it came in great packaging, a box just like this guy right here, and it reminded me of the same packaging that I got on my WBC Ultimate cables. But then I got the cable in my hand, and I was surprised at how dramatically higher quality the cable felt. Felt really nice. Now, much nicer compared to that GLS audio cable here. This is just, leagues ahead. And it was also much nicer to my Mogami. Both of these feel cheaper in comparison. And yes, the WBC with the Mogami cable is more flexible. And I've complained about stiff power cables in the past. But the Golds here have a great balance. They're stiff enough that they don't get tangled like the long GLS here, but they're flexible enough that they don't push equipment out of the way like some of my stiffer power cables. And aesthetically, I think these guys look beautiful. They're just about 0.5 millimeter thicker than the Mogami cable on the WBC. And I like that 10-foot cable so much on my mic that I went ahead and I purchased two 3.5 feet cables to use in my audio system. And first I tested them connected from my DAC to my preamp, and now I have them connected from my Jungsan preamp over to the Orchard Audio Stark Crimson Ultra amplifier. So sonically, honestly I can say that I can't hear a difference between the Golds and the WBC in my audio setup. Although I always try to keep my power cables away from signal cables. Now the Golds versus the GLS on the other hand, the Golds don't pick up the hum that the GLS do. And I tested this with a cable in parallel and perpendicular to my extension cord. Nothing, zero noise. The Golds did an excellent job of blocking that EMI from my extension cord. As for price, the Golds are slightly pricier than the WBCs, and they come in at around $40 per 3.3 foot cable. So for a pair you do have to purchase two, and that puts you at around $80 for the pair. Which comes to about $20 more than the 3 foot WBC with the Mogami cable when it's in stock. And for those $20, you're getting better shielding and a substantially more durable cable with the Golds here. So without a doubt, I can recommend the Audio Accessories Gold XLR. But if an $80 XLR cable is a little bit out of your budget, also take a look at their basic series. I think I'll have to get a set of those just as backups. And since I do testing all day, I think I will also give me another set of the 3.3 foot XLR Golds. So when I'm A-Being, I'm using the same cable. So I'll put a link below to the Gold and the basics, and I think that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.